You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and our morning show brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and joining us in this segment for our Taylorville School District Good News segment is the first Thursday of every month at this time now. I have got Jeb Odom on the far end here. You might not see him. I've got Kayla Archibald, Susie McClure, and Jenny Moats joining us here today. To all four of you, thank you for being here, and how are we doing?
Good.
Doing well.
Thank you.
Glad to hear it. Well, we got a lot to talk about, so let's start moving things quickly here. We're going to focus first on Kayla here. Kayla, college fair coming up here for
Yes.
Taylorville High School, I would assume. And what can you tell me about it? When will it be? Where will it be? How does that go?
So it's going to be held October 30th from 6 to 7:30, and we'll be holding it in our gym. So all of them will be there.
Yeah. And last year it was very well attended between our students and local communities. So did a great job. The FAFSA presentation was excellent. So just trying to get our students just some more experience in the college choosing process.
Okay, so it sounds like we're open to surrounding communities, not
Yes.
just Taylorville students.
We highly recommend anybody that from the surrounding schools come. It's an experience for all students to come and talk to these college reps. The more that you talk to them, the better informed you have of where you want to go and maybe where you don't.
Well, and sometimes it's more important to know where you don't want to go than where you do. Let's talk about where they can go. How many colleges, universities will be on hand?
So right now we have a little over 20, and that's college, universities, trade schools, and military. So there's something for everybody because not everybody goes into the same.
I think our
track.
target number is 40.
Yeah.
That's the number we always try to reach. But, some of those universities coming from farther distance can't make it that far. So, we start early and branch out as far as we can to get as many colleges there. So it was very well attended last year.
Yes.
Well, I like to hear that it's not just the focus on colleges and universities, but the trades as well.
Yes.
They get forgotten, and there's good money there, and there's less and less of a workforce there as well. And military, we always could use folks in the military, maybe just not me. Are there specific time slots for these presentations? Is that kind of is it pretty structured in terms of how it'll go?
Nope. So this is open floor. We kind of have them all around the gym. So you can, if you have an eye that you want to go and see, I'm going to throw out SIU. You can beeline there and talk to them, and you can kind of walk around and see everybody else. But there's no specific time slot besides the 6 to 7:30.
6 to 7:30, and I can bounce around.
I believe we did have two different presentations for FAFSA. We had an early session and a late session for kiddos that want to come a little bit later in the night for whatever reason. So, but yeah, I mean, a lot of kids come in with a kind of a set plan of who they want to go see, and they visit those booths, and hopefully something else catches their eye. So,
yeah.
Do you recommend kids have kind of an idea of where they want to go during that day, or do you kind of recommend maybe keep that mind a little more open than it is?
We're early in the process. I think August 1st is when most college applications open up, and we're going to do this in October. So for a lot of those kiddos, they're still early in the process. But my advice would be, have a plan when you come in. If you want to go into architecture or want to go into accounting, do some research before you come in on the schools that have really good programs, strong programs in those areas. So that way you're not just kind of wandering through the gym.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense to me. Just was wondering, hey, keep the mind open, or maybe, have a little more of a narrowed focus. Students, in terms of planning, do they need to register beforehand, or is there any registration necessary?
No, there's no registration necessary. We do have a sign-in sheet so we can kind of keep track of which one of our students come and how many outside students come as well.
Basically, sign-in sheet.
Yeah, and we also really encourage parents and guardians to come as well, so they can also ask questions that maybe their student they don't think of.
So this is going to be a pretty packed house when you start talking as many folks that will be there as well. Numbers on hand in years prior, has that been pretty surprising to see how many students come from the area, even on top of just Taylorville High School students?
Yeah, last year I think we were really surprised at how many students from outside of Taylorville came. I don't remember off the top of my head what the number was, but it was, we were all impressed.
Yeah. And we had a lot of parents there as well. I know the FAFSA presentations were pretty full because, when it comes down to finances, the parents are the ones on the hook for it. So they want to get as much information as they could to help pay for college.
Yeah.
I can understand that. And FAFSA is not the easiest to navigate either, especially when you got to throw in parents' information and things like that, and W-2s. You start getting.
They have made it easier. They've really streamlined the process to work straight through the IRS website. So, having 2 kids in college now, it's gotten much easier.
It's always when you're out of school and when that type of stuff comes. So that's good to hear for those that are going to be preparing for it. Maybe not when I was there then. Grade level wise, do you recommend juniors and seniors, or are you thinking all across the board?
All across the board. The sooner that you are immersed in it and figuring out what you want to do, the better. So
now, do you kind of look to maybe dual credit classes and things like that as well, kind of saying, hey, you've already got these credits that'll transfer to maybe Lincoln Land or things like that? Would you recommend pushing them that way? How does that kind of go with kids that are maybe already gaining credits?
So we work closely with Lincoln Land, but we don't push kids to do college if that's not what they want to do. Like I said, everybody has their own path that they want to take. It's definitely a benefit for dual credit for our students to take. And Lincoln Land has been gracious enough to work with us with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiddos that go to Lincoln Land as a junior or senior, they already have a pretty good plan of what they want to do and what they want to major in. So a lot of times they've already got their plan in place and they just have to execute it. So, but the college fair is perfect for those kids that aren't quite decided on what they want to do. And when you start bringing all the community colleges together with the 4-year colleges, they can kind of compare the difference between the two and start making some decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have framed that question a little better. What I was kind of meaning is, if I'm already taking dual credit classes, should I be looking at the places that my credits will transfer to rather than maybe outside sources that maybe they won't?
You can, but there is also, like, I reference this website called Transferology. So you can go on there and you can look at all the classes that you've taken with us that are dual credit and Lincoln Land, and you can match it with a university that you want to go to as well. And Lincoln Land is most of their classes are really good at transferring.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't transfer as like a history class, it'll go as a elective at least.
So that was my question. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I was thinking of, hey, let's maybe kind of push you in that direction if you've already picked up some of those credits. Totally makes sense on that end as well. You already answered this question of parents and guardians and their attendance, sometimes even recommended for them to do. And we'd like to also ask a couple other questions on the way of Jeb Odom here. Jeb, having been a former student at THS and a member of the staff since 2003, what can you tell me about the changes at the high school you've seen within your career, even at this moment now?
Well, I'm number one, very proud to be on the staff because, when you look at all the programs we offer, CEO, which, we have our kiddos in CEO program, and we bring kids from 2 other schools into our CEO program. We send kids to CACC. We talked about Lincoln Land. Just such a vast variety of programs that we have that we didn't have when we were in school. I know Matt Hart just walked by here. He didn't have the same programs that we have now. So just watching those grow from 2003 when I started to now, it's been pretty exciting.
And I can tell just in the last year of being here how much Taylorville does offer, even through things like the FFA, how big the FFA organization is here and how much support there is, or the Christian County CEO program. There's a lot of opportunities for kids that I don't think are across the board in a lot of school districts in other areas. My next question for you, you just graduated the class of 2024-25.
Yep.
What can you speak to on the types of career paths that you saw them choose or maybe help them choose in that time?
Yeah, so we just got done talking about college fair. And when I went down and looked at the numbers, we had 39 kiddos that went straight into the workforce and got really well-paying jobs. 16 went in the military. We had 11 kids go straight into trade schools. 54 went to community colleges, and 56 went to 4-year universities. So it kind of speaks on the variety of offerings that Taylorville High School has with CEO, FFA, all those kiddos that want to go into different areas. And then when they finally made those career choices, we've got 5 major pathways that the kids can choose from. And all of our kids are accounted for as they make the step from being a teenager into young adulthood. So we're pretty proud about that.
Going back to the career fair, my question to you is, how are we preparing the students for said career fair? Are they going to have an opportunity to kind of sit down with individuals like yourself and say, what questions should I ask? What should I be looking for? Is there an opportunity before this career fair to do so?
We've got a couple opportunities. All 4 of our counselors, we sit down with the students and we have
future planning.
And then in freshman seminar, they have a chance to do some college and career readiness type stuff. And then this year, we're going to offer a career exploration day on October 29th, where the kids are going to have a chance to pick 3 possible careers and go to different presentations on those 3 careers. So we're doing our best at a very young age with these kiddos to start getting on a plan to be an adult, because it happens pretty fast.
You mentioned October 29th. Was that kind of a thought that, hey, let's get it even just a day before said career fair when it comes to exploring different career paths?
It helps that the 29th is a 1:00 day, so the kids can take advantage of that. The shorter class periods, we can have the speakers for that. And then October 30th is parent-teacher conferences, so it helps parents. They're already in the building for, the college fair.
We were thinking ahead of time.
Yeah.
I see. Another question for you guys would be, say I'm thinking trades, say I'm thinking military. There might not be as much in terms of as colleges and things like that. Colleges and universities are going to dominate. Are we going to have all 4 branches representing at said career fair?
We're hoping. We definitely know that the Navy and the Army are going to be there. We're in contact with Marines and Air Force to make sure that they're there. And Air Force usually brings Space Force as well.
Yeah.
We love to have them there, and we're just kind of waiting to hear back.
And the military is usually pretty well represented during our
Mm-hmm.
lunch hours. They come every other week to send a representative and a recruiter. So
Yeah.
Okay. Did not know that part of it. Same with the trade schools then. Are we, you mentioned we'd like to have 40 plus. What are some of those trade schools or opportunities that'll be on hand?
I believe we have MTI that's going to be there. Again, I can check our spreadsheet on them, but we also have the reps that come in, and we actively have trade schools coming in to talk to our students. And the seniors and juniors when the reps sign up, we send a Google form to them, and they can sign up and come and talk to them on a one-on-one basis as well, not just at the college fair.
Okay. So the one-on-one opportunity is probably a good one there as well. I apologize if I cut you off.
You're good.
Okay. Well, that's a look at the career fair. We still got Jenny and Susie to talk to here as well. More about said career fair when we return. But you're listening to the WTIM morning show here on your information station. It's our Taylorville Good News segment, brought to you the first Thursday of every month. We'll be right on back on WTIM, your information station.
Information station, WTIM.
Are you tired of spraying weeds in your driveway every month? Are you sick of patching cracks every year? Tired of hauling in another load of rock? If we keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, you know what that's called, don't you? So do the same thing and call your cousin Bill at Illinois Paving today. Me or Little Bill will come out and give you a free estimate on your paving project. ilpaving.com.
When it comes to connecting with America's farmers and ranchers, nothing beats the authentic voice of Ag Radio. Farm broadcasters have been the voice of rural America since 1944, building trusted relationships with agricultural producers across generations. Today, the network of over 140 Ag radio stations reaches farmers and ranchers during their most productive hours when they're actively working their operations and making business decisions. What makes Ag Radio uniquely effective? Farmers listen to farm broadcasters for information that directly impacts their livelihood. When your message is delivered alongside crucial weather updates, market reports, and agricultural news, it receives the same attention and credibility. Farm Radio Connects offers agricultural advertisers targeted access to this engaged audience through professionals who understand both broadcasting and agriculture. According to the National Association of Farm Broadcasting, 78% of farmers consider information from farm broadcasters highly trustworthy. When you need to reach rural America effectively, choose the voices they already trust. Visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com and discover how Ag Radio can elevate your agricultural marketing strategy.
There are pencil marks on the doorway.
Handprints are embedded in the driveway.
And clothes that fit yesterday are too small today.
Boy, how they've grown.
So tall, so wise,
and so fast.
Seeing our kids starting a new chapter has us thinking about the changing seasons.
Then again, we're a heating and air company. Our lives revolve around changing seasons.
Now, these seasons don't always change as much as we'd like.
Other times, they change too much.
But through every season, as your kids have grown, our company has grown.
As they learned, we did too.
Jansen's vans were rolling on their first day of kindergarten.
And will still be here providing comfort as they walk across the finish line with diplomas in hand.
That Ferris fellow was right when he said, Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Yeah, old Ferris is turning 57 this year.
Here's to a new season from Jansen's Heating and Air.
JansonsHeating.com.
CNB Bank and Trust has been helping open doors for Central Illinois farmers since 1854. Find out why they're among Illinois' top ag lenders by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Bob Reddings of the Bob Reddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
And we're back with the WTIM morning show here on your information station. It's brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Joining us in this segment for our Taylorville Good News segment, I've got Jeb Odom, Kayla Archibald, Susie McClure, Jenny Motes as well here with the Taylorville School District. We talked a lot about the college fair coming up here in not too long at all. It'll be here in a flash. But we got a question for our nurses here. We're going to start with Susie. What health requirements are there for the students in your building, and what can you tell us on that end?
So for kindergarten, we start their health file brand new. So physical and immunization. So complete physical completed by a physician. And then there's some questions that the parents have to fill out and sign, as well as a complete immunization or religious exemption. And then a dental exam and an eye exam completed by an eye doctor. Sometimes the doctor does one at their physical, but we need one from an eye doctor. Those are all requirements for kindergartners, and we have to have the physical and immunizations by October 15th. So the sooner they can get them in, the better. And then for second grade, they have to have a dental exam as well. And so the sooner they can get those in, the better.
Is that a Taylorville requirement, or is that a statewide requirement?
It's a statewide requirement. Those are the only things at that level. The exception would be if we have a student coming from out of state. So if they've moved from, let's say, Florida to Illinois and they're coming to our school, they also have to have an eye exam. Anybody coming from an out-of-state school has to have an eye exam as well.
Interesting. I must have completely forgotten about a dental exam and eye exam when I was younger. So did not remember that piece.
Yes.
And for you, Jenny, obviously a little bit higher of grades, but there are some requirements there as well. What can you tell us?
Starting from 3rd through 5th grade, nothing new. When you get to 6th grade, all students have to have an updated physical that has to also be turned in by October 15th. A parent does need to fill out the health history and sign that as well. We cannot consider it a complete physical without that piece of it. So we send a lot back to get parent signatures. So it's a good reminder. They do have to have an up-to-date immunization record or the religious exemption on file. We have to have at least proof of one Tdap vaccine for that grade. And that's usually when they'll also give one dose of meningococcal vaccine that usually is on that physical as well. And then there's a 6th grade dental that needs to be turned in by May 15th of that school year. 7th and 8th grade, nothing new. In 9th grade, every 9th grader has to have a physical. This is a state requirement. It's the exact same for kindergarten. 6th and 9th has to be turned in by October 15th. And then there's also a dental exam that's required for that 9th grade year. 10th and 11th grade, there's nothing new. Going into 12th grade, we always check, Heather checks to be sure there's at least one meningococcal vaccine that's been given on or before their 16th birthday. Okay. And I do want to mention for sports physicals, these are required for any student that's going to play a sport, and it has to be turned in before practice, play, or tryouts. Okay. So that's for any grade.
Okay.
That they're going to be in a sport.
That is a look at our nurses and what they're telling us here, both Susie and Jenny. October 15th for the deadline on those immunization records, dental exams, eye exams. if necessary. Don't forget about those physicals as well. October 30th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Taylorville High School will be the college fair. Jeb, Kayla, Susie, and Jenny, thank you for joining us here.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
You're listening to WTIM, your information station, in our Taylorville School District Good News segment.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5